We have the Bureau of Labor Statistics releasing the producer price index for November. The gauge measures the change over time in prices charged by domestic producers for their output. So that's what the Wealth Building Journal was just talking about. Let's see what that is. I don't need Bloomberg anymore. All right, let's go to here. And we're going to search for producer. You better thank a producer price index. Click on that. All right, so the producer price index is similar to the consumer price index, but instead of tracking the prices of things people buy, it tracks the prices that businesses pay to make those things. Here's how it works, right? So imagine a factory is making sneakers. You got to get those J's. They need material like rubber, fabric, and labor. The PPI tracks the prices of these materials and services. Price check. So just like the CPI, the government checks the prices of these materials and services regularly. Compare prices. They compare today's prices with the prices from the past to see if the costs for businesses are going up or down. If the PPI goes up, it means the cost for businesses to produce goods and services are rising. If the price goes down, it means the costs are decreasing. So why does this matter? When the production cost goes up, the businesses might raise their prices to cover these costs, which can eventually lead to higher prices for consumers. So PPI can be an early indicator of inflation, showing how the prices of raw materials and production might affect the prices we pay in stores later on. All right. So let's continue with the car mechanic example, right? So auto parts and supplies. If the PPI for auto parts like brake pads, filters, or tires increases, the mechanic will pay more to stock the shop with essential parts. This can force the mechanic to raise prices for repairs like brake jobs or find cheaper suppliers. Though that may affect the quality. So we're not going to go through the whole thing because we kind of know what the car mechanic has to go through, right? But tools and equipment. If the PPI for industrial tools rises, essential tools like wrenches, diagnostic computers, or lifts become more expensive, the mechanic may need to delay equipment upgrades and finance new tools, which adds operating costs. So, and let's just do this number 3, oils and fluids. If the PPI for motor oil or coolant goes up, suppliers charge the shop more for these materials. The mechanic might have to increase the price of oil changes to cover the added costs. So I'm not going to go through it because we already read the car mechanic example for the CPI, but you can see how the PPI directly impacts the CPI, as the Wealth Building Journey said in too many syllables, right? So he had a lot. He needs to use a lot of syllables to say that, but it is what it is. It is what it is. All right. So let's jump into this report. So let's go here. And producer price indexes. Let's see. PPI for final demand, 0.4% in November. Let's take a look at this report. The PPI for final demand rose 0.4% in November, seasonally adjusted to. So it got a little bit more expensive for the producers. Final demand prices increased 0.3% in October and 0.2% in September. On an unadjusted basis, the index for final demand advanced 3% for the 12 months ending in November, the largest rise since moving up 4.7% for the 12 months ended February 2023. It says in November, nearly 60% of the broad-based rise in final demand prices can be attributed to a 7% increase in the index for final demand goods. Prices for final demand services moved up 0.2%. The index for final demand, less food, energy, and trade services inched up 0.1% in November after rising 0.3% in October. For the 12 months ending in November, prices for final demand, less food, energy, and trade services advanced to 3.5%. Let me see. Final demand goods, the index for final demand goods moved up 0.7% in November, the largest increase since rising 1.1% in February. I'm not going to go through all the little details. A quarter of November rises in prices for final demand is attributable, how you like that, to a 54.6% jump in the index for chicken eggs. Prices for fresh and dry vegetables. All right, we're not going to go into that level of detail. The index for final demand services rose 0.2% points in November. The fourth consecutive increase, leading the advance in November. Margins for final demand trade services moved up 0.8%. Yeah. And then we have the intermediate demand. Nothing was really changed that much. Let me see. All right, I think we're good. I think we're good on the producer price index.
It's Tech Coach Ralph TVV. Yeah, men lying, women lying, numbers manipulate. Don't matter what no one say, I throw the stats away. No need for calculators, we already greater. No need to validate us. It's Tech Coach Ralph TV. Get up, it is Saturday morning. I've got to get my coffee cause I can't stop yawning. Get to watch my favorite show today. Men lie, women lie, numbers manipulate. Tech Coach Ralph and Mitch and Yakar, that's how it be. Shooting galaxies from their hands, it's Tech Coach Ralph TV. You don't need to grab your remote because you'll be floating free. Don't gotta worry about negative forces, it's positivity. Get up, it is Saturday morning. I've got to get my coffee cause I can't stop yawning. Get to watch my favorite show today. Men lie, women lie, numbers manipulate. Get up, it is Saturday morning. I've got to get my coffee cause I can't stop the yawning. But I get to watch my favorite show today. Men lie, women lie, numbers manipulate. Numbers manipulate. Numbers manipulate. Numbers manipulate. Men lie, women lie. Numbers manipulate. Numbers manipulate. Numbers manipulate. Numbers manipulate. Numbers manipulate. Men lie, women lie. Numbers manipulate. Numbers manipulate. Tech Coach Ralph and Mitch and Yakar, that's how it be. Shooting galaxies from their hands, it's Tech Coach Ralph TV. You don't need to grab your remote because you'll be floating free. Don't gotta worry about negative forces, it's positivity. Tech Coach Ralph and Mitch and Yakar, that's how it be. Shooting galaxies from their hands, it's Tech Coach Ralph TV. You don't need to grab your remote because you'll be floating free. Don't gotta worry about negative forces, it's positivity. Get up, it is Saturday morning. I've got to get my coffee cause I can't stop yawning. Get to watch my favorite show today. Men lie, women lie, numbers manipulate. Yeah, number manipulate. Yeah, numbers manipulate. Yeah, numbers manipulate. Numbers manipulate. Numbers manipulate.